In this video, I'm going to share with you 3 tips on how you can make the most out of your gimbal. So tip number 1, if you find yourself needing to pull focus while using a gimbal, use a follow focus. A follow focus makes it much easier for you to pull focus rather than trying to actually adjust it on the lens. It makes it just easier and more precise. Tip number 2, you can use your Horizon 1 gimbal to get some pretty creative shots. While we all know gimbals can get your typical follow modes and there's different lock modes, the Horizon 1 allows you to actually do a inception or dream mode shot. To do that, what you do is hold down the mode button and double tap the power. And then you're going to see a camera move up like that, and you can hold it now like a flashlight, and then you can use the joystick to make it go like this. So depending on what mode you're in, a quick way to get it back to facing center and straight is to double tap the mode button. So tip number 3 is to use your phone for app controls. So this way you can actually modify your gimbal settings to the way you like. I'll have links down below for you to download the apps for iOS and Android. So every gimbal is going to be slightly different on this connection part because each Bluetooth chip is a little different. So look for the one that says WI710 and then you'll see some numbers afterwards. You're going to tap on it once and it'll start connecting. Once it's connected, you're going to have 4 options. You have gimbal control, settings, calibration, and time lapse. So in gimbal controls, you can actually use your phone to control the gimbal. So here you can see I'm controlling it with just the phone. You can even control the roll axis with this. And then you get a nice little button here to actually press recenter. And then in the settings part, it's actually quite helpful because you can actually choose the different type of cameras that you have on it. So here we have a Sony A7S on it, so we have Sony on here. It also supports other ones such as Canon and Panasonic. The next setting is the gimbal parameters. This is where you're setting the motor strengths. So if it's a heavy setup, you're going to want to make sure that it's set to high. And if it's a low light setup, you can set to low or ultra low. Here I have low since the A7S and the lens and the motor isn't really that heavy. So if you notice that there are any vibrations when you're using the gimbals, this is the settings that you would adjust. And the last setting on here is actually balance adjust. And this is quite helpful as it actually tells you if you properly balanced your gimbal. Here you can see that everything says normal because everything is balanced properly. So if your gimbal isn't balanced properly, the app will actually tell you which axis is not balanced. I'm going to show you, for example, here. I'm going to go ahead and move it. So here you notice that both the pitch and yaw axis say unbalanced. This is because they're linked. So you want to make sure everything is properly balanced or else it'll affect multiple axes. So the next setting is a calibration setting. It's pretty much if you notice that your gimbal is tilting any way or another, you're going to want to calibrate it. However, the gimbals do come pre-calibrated, so chances are you don't have to calibrate it unless something happens to the gimbal. So the last feature of the gimbal is the time lapse. So the time lapse feature not only controls the gimbal movements, but if you plug in the cable that comes with the gimbal that's correct for your camera, it can actually control the shutter interval and shutter duration. If you want to find out more information about the Horizon 1 or more information about Ikan products, you can visit us at ikancorp.com and make sure to subscribe to our channel to make sure you don't miss our next video. And I'll see you next time.